Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. Int Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. Hey, we're here with episode 86, Disarming Triggers for Parents. Chill the chaos and parent with peace. Is that possible? Let's see. And I have a special guest, Damara McKoy. She is a parent advocate, among other things. I appreciate you for being here.
Oh, of course.
So tell us more of who you are and what else you do, because you're more than just a parent advocate.
Oh, God. Let me see. No, I'm kidding. So, hello, everyone. Good evening. Yes, I am a parent advocate. I am an anger management specialist. I started my own business where I have contracts with different mental health facilities running therapeutic groups. And outside of that, I am a senior advisor too. So I help seniors with placement. So I just serve,
That is awesome. So you said you have your own business, so they can go to your website, DamaraMcKoy.com.
And I am a published author too. So I wrote a children's book.
That's right. Oh,
Did
you write a children's book?
Yeah, the day I met Eden.
The day I met Eden. Yes, she did. It's on
my book.
Amazon. Yes, and I read it to my boys the other day.
Oh my God. Cool journal in the back for the kids to write out their feelings. So that's what I love. I'm all about that.
Yeah, it's an emotional regulation book.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, for little kiddos. So it's really awesome. Let's show that the day I met Eden. Yes. Thank you. Well, let's get right into it. Oh my goodness. Being a parent, and let me just start with this. I've mentioned this a few times on the podcast that the Surgeon General said a few months ago in an article that parenting is hazardous to our mental health.
Oh my God.
Hazardous. And it's like, does that mean we should just not be parents? No, that's the wrong direction to go in. We need to be parents because we need people in the world. But there's things we need to do to be able to de-stress, debrief, strategize, all the things so that we need to be the best parents. Exactly. Before we jump right into it, how did you get into this realm? A lot of people have like personal stories as to how they got into it, but what about you?
Right. So I started my career off as a student at Georgia State University, finished my bachelor's degree in psychology. I've been in the behavioral health space for 10 years now, working with family and children who experience some serious emotional dysregulation problems and mental issues. And parents, they don't know how to help their children, and they're not in tune with their emotions. So how can you help your child with your emotions? So I felt that it was a need, and having my own personal issues with growing up as a kid, and experiencing some emotional dysregulation myself, and being the middle child, not really getting the attention that I need. I knew that even though I'm not a mother, I understood where these kids were coming from. So how can I help these parents understand their emotions?
That is so important because we're saying triggers, disarming triggers for parents, because like the things that our kids do, they can trigger things like deep-seated things within us that we don't even realize that we have. I mean, I have a 2, 4, and 13-year-old, and there's different levels of triggers that they have for me. And, even as a psychiatrist, I mean, I'm human and it just happens. So what are the biggest emotional triggers that parents actually face, and how can we recognize them before they take over?
Yeah, so let's break down the parenting triggers. Parenting triggers are the ones that are caused by our child's behavior, right? And some of them are, you're lashing out, you're shutting down, you're crying, you're trying to escape, leaving that child feeling helpless, right? Yeah, we become very overwhelmed and our nervous system is acting whack and we don't understand. And the last thing we want to do is deal with our kids. I think with working with parents, they understood a couple of things, right? Keep a roof keep that food, keep food on the table, right?
Yeah.
Pay for clothes and shoes, and make sure their kids go to school. But
Right.
emotional
Mhm.
support.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll hear it all the time from my clients. They're like, well, my parents, I lived great. I had money. I had, I went to the best schools. They took care of me. But how
Mhm.
do they take care of you emotionally?
Mhm.
How was your emotional needs met?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have to worry about all those basic things, but we
Mhm,
definitely need to support their emotional needs and
mhm.
be able to recognize those triggers. I mean, in
Right.
what way can we get triggered? I mean, I have an example. So I
Me.
had a parent tell me today, and the parent has mental illness, and of course the child has mental illness. I see the child.
Mhm.
And, basic things happen, right? You tell the child to do your work, do your work, do your work. They don't do the work. And, this is kind of like deep seated things that happen ongoing. So, like, that upsets the parent, right? When they didn't do the work. And then the kid says, oh, yeah, I did do the work. So then
Yeah.
they're lying. So then that makes them more upset. And so the parent getting upset made the child upset, and the child's cussing. And then the child cussing and being disrespectful makes the parent more upset. And then the parent ends up saying, you need to leave. Then the child leaves. And then the parent can't find the child. So then they, right.
Oh,
So
it happened at one time.
this all escalated in one evening. Cops were called, things like that. So, how can we recognize the warning signs that this might be happening, that I, as the parent, could be escalating? Because obviously that parent is a loving parent. They
Mhm.
definitely regretted telling it. They were like, I should have been the one to leave, not tell my child to leave. They
Yeah.
deeply regretted that. Obviously, this person still has custody, but there could be a point where you might say the wrong things and something happens to the kid, you lose custody, it's just done. So it's
Yeah.
really important for us to recognize the warning signs that this is escalating fast. I may be about to say something that I shouldn't be saying, because clearly there was a lot of triggers there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first sign with understanding your triggers are you need to be self-aware of them,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And half of the time, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, but your body does. And we
Yep.
need to respond to that discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We feel it before it comes, but we ignore it because we what? We react.
Yeah.
So we react. We just
We
go
react to
on.
what we feel.
Exactly how we feel, right? We go 0 to 100 real quick.
But that's so easy. It's so natural to go 0 to 100, D.
Absolutely, it is. It is. So we have to. I love the story that you just told us, right? You
Mm-hmm.
said at the end, the parent was what? Was
Very
remorseful.
remorseful. Yeah, regretted it.
Absolutely. So that's the first sign. You know what? I handled this terribly.
Mhm.
This was not the best thing to do, right? Also, you have to be open to be the student. I say in life, you're going to be a teacher or you're going to be a student,
Yeah.
right? A lot of times we think we know best, but we
Mhm.
have to sit back and ask ourselves, what happened in our own life and our own
Mhm.
as a child, right? What did we miss, and how can we
Yeah.
show up for our children?
Right, and it boils down to it. I mean, if you really can't do it on your own, I mean, that's what people like D are for, is go to a parent advocate, go to therapy, get your own help. And, there's ways, like you mentioned on and on just now, that there's something going on in our childhood that was missed, or that, we needed help and we never got. But how do we break this cycle of reactive parenting? It's so easy to just react to what's going on, especially when we've grown up in households where discipline was just loud and harsh and unpredictable. You just tell them, shut up, shut your mouth. I don't need to explain you. So how do we break that cycle?
I think we need to understand that we're under stress,
Mm-hmm.
right? Be self-aware of the stress, because what happens, you are letting the outside, those external things go on in your world, and you're bringing it home, and you're not. Sometimes parents, we need to sit down in our car, and I'm saying we like I'm a parent, but I'm going to be a parent one day.
Yes,
Okay,
you
you guys?
will.
But sometimes it's okay to sit in the car before you get home and get your thoughts together. So we need to learn how to meditate, right? We
Yes.
need to self-regulate that nervous system, right? And understand that our kids are going to be kids. Their brains are not even fully developed yet. The
Correct. Not
average
at all.
age for a brain to be fully developed is at 25.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
That
And I think
executive function
that
is not there.
COVID is 30 now.
You said because of COVID, it's 30?
Yes, I think I read
How did you hear
an
that?
article. Yes. Yes. So we need to realize that.
I
And
never heard that.
yeah. And we're here's we are breaking
Oh
generational
gosh.
curses.
Yes.
We're breaking generational curses.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, like you said, it starts with like knowing yourself. So you have to be aware, you have to understand your triggers, where you came from, and really be intentional about working on it, because you can break that cycle. It doesn't have to be like, because a lot of people say, because a new thing, I say new, but it's really not new. We say, praise your child, love your child, uplift them, give them rewards. And so people who've been raised like, I didn't get no rewards. Why am I going to praise them for doing something that they supposed to do? Well, why not? Why not uplift your child, especially if it's
Exactly.
going to reinforce them to do the best thing?
Right.
So it's a
Yeah.
matter of being intentional, being aware, and then being willing to change, like you said.
I think that's the biggest one. You got to be willing to change. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
don't take it personal. We're not saying you're a bad mom.
Mm-hmm.
You just need support.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I tell my clients all the time, we're not going to go in protection mode. We're going to go in support mode. Because protection mode, we shutting down,
Mm-hmm.
we lashing out, we not aware. But support is, how can I support myself? How can I get my needs met?
Mm-hmm. You know, I have a personal example. Oh gosh, something that I just felt awful about. So my child, at the time he's 3 years old, and of course, he's potty training and things like that. And he had on his underwear. He was supposed to obviously go to the bathroom. He did not. He just peed in his underwear. And I just remember getting so mad at the little boy, like,
No.
why is you pee? And I'm just like, later, I was like, why did I scream at him? He's just in the midst of learning. He like looked at me like all scared. He didn't do it on purpose. He just didn't make it to the toilet or whatever could be going on. So I told myself ever since then, I said, no, 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 no. I have to have more patience. I have to be calm. I have to be able to control myself. Because really,
Right.
what was the issue? I just clean up the pee. I mean, he peed on the carpet. Whatever, clean the carpet. It's not worth his emotional effects that I'm screaming at him.
Yeah. And also, we have to get accustomed to apologizing to our kids. Mommy wasn't mad. I was
Mm.
disappointed in you.
Mm. Yes.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I know especially African American people, we don't come from that.
Yeah.
Wasn't and depressed. You better press some dishes.
Your kids. Your kids.
We don't come in, and I'm going to say it. I know people don't like it, but that gentle parenting.
Right. Like, why we gotta do gentle parenting? Why we gotta respect our kids? What you talking about?
Because they're human beings and they need to understand what respect is.
Yeah. They grow up with self-worth, self-respect.
Self-esteem, self-acceptance.
Yeah. And we wonder why our kids aren't assertive. We be shutting them down and not trying to explain stuff to them.
Exactly. Yeah. And if
Yeah.
you don't do it now, you guys, if you don't use these skills, if you don't help yourself to help your children, then you will see it in their adulthood.
Black men, and I can't say it's just like the men, but especially the black men don't like to say sorry. And like I saw this reel that was showing like how black dads say sorry. And you see the guy go in the room like, "Hey son, so I got you some pizza. You want some pizza? You want some M&Ms? You want to watch this show with me?" Like instead of saying sorry, I yelled at you. Like, here's your favorite things.
And look, and the black mama come in. You want to come to the store with me?
Yeah, your mamas get a voice saying sorry as well.
Yeah, so we got to be accustomed to that. Yeah.
I also try to not apologize. Well, no, I do apologize, but that's not what I was meant to say. I also, like, if I'm angry, I'll say, especially my 13-year-old, I'll
Okay.
say, look, I'm really mad at you right now, but I still love you. I'm just letting you know I still love you. Because in
Okay.
the midst of you being real angry to them, they can feel unloved, and you don't want to hurt your self-esteem. And people are like, why you got to worry about that stuff? But you should.
Yeah, you do. And then you wondering why your kid don't come up to you and express their needs to you. They're scared.
Oh, that hurts. That
It's the truth. You
part.
can keep it real. You put me on your show, girl, I'm gonna keep it real.
Oh, yeah, we gotta keep it
I'm going to
raw.
keep it real.
We
Yeah.
gotta keep it raw. So in the midst of it, are there some quick in the moment strategies a parent can use when they feel themselves about to snap? Because we really should calm ourselves down.
Absolutely, right? I said being self-aware and then learning to respond in real time. So at that moment, right? You got to feel it. You got to feel the discomfort. I know when I get mad, I feel the steam coming from my nose, right? My
Mm-hmm.
temperature change, right? So just being self-aware of what your body is letting, it's telling you, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
understand and asking, okay, why? Like you said, well, why did I yell? Oh God, why
Mm-hmm.
am I yelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really
Right.
just being self-aware and then responding to those triggers in real time.
Oh. But
That's the
what if you about to snap? So how you gonna respond?
you better walk away. You
Oh.
better get some water. Look, use your five senses. We got touch, smell, sight. Help me out, Doc. Sight,
Hearing,
hearing. Yes.
taste.
Taste.
I'm like, wait, which ones am I
I got a
missing?
jar of peppermint. You want to just put them in there? Ooh, let me.
Yeah, that's some grounding techniques you're talking about right there.
You said what now?
That's those grounding techniques. When you
The
engage all your senses, you have to
grounding technique.
ground.
There we go. Absolutely.
Oh, that's certainly
Absolutely.
what I do. If I feel myself snapping, I have to like close my eyes, take a lot of deep breaths, and really, some gratitude comes in there. I'm practicing some gratitude, but
Uh-huh.
really just telling myself it's all right. You don't have to get angry.
Right.
Trying to explain yourself why the kid may have done that thing that you upset about.
Exactly.
Just kind of reset.
We need to reset. We self-care is important, right? We like to look good on the outside, but we never work on the inside. A lot of times it's not even our kids, it's external things that's out of our control, right? The
Mm.
argument we had with our boss and we come home and we project.
You're not even mad at them. You mad at something else that goes always back to that self-aware.
Right. So you hear one noise, if they drop something, you snapping. So patience. That's
Yes.
why we got to constantly be regulating that nervous system.
So
Well,
how do we know if it's from us internally or it's really something the kid did?
in my opinion, I think that, like I said, self-awareness, you
We just
know,
got to journal. You telling us to journal because the
we
only
need
way to get self-aware is to journal.
exactly. That's why I say it's very important. So y'all need to go ahead and get Dr. G.
Get the enjoy
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Like you do have to do have to journal because you have to ask yourself that, right? You have to.
Yeah, why am I getting so upset? Especially if you snap and your patience is just like to zero. Like you said, you always going 0 to 100. Like, what up with that? Maybe it's the kids, but maybe it's you too. Maybe you need family therapy.
I
Maybe it's
think
everybody.
yeah, I think it's easy to project on our kids because what
Mm-hmm.
have the power, they don't have any power
Oh,
in our eyes, right? It's
yeah.
easy to yell at your kids compared to you really want to yell at your mother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you are burnt out. That's why I said
Mm.
get that journal, right? Because when we are burnt out, the last thing we want to do is be a caregiver.
Because
Mm.
you're burnt out. You don't have you're pouring from an empty cup. What you gonna pour? What you gonna give them?
So any little thing, yelling, noise, right?
Gets to you.
Disrespect, everything gets to you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why those little bits of self-care, even if it's like you said, engaging your senses for a brief
Mhm.
time. I mean, there's definitely different 10-minute resets you can do. I will put in my earbuds and listen to Hans Zimmer. He's the
Oh,
composer that does the movie scores.
yes,
Ooh, and it's just great. I'm blocking out like noise. I see them. I see what they're doing, but I don't hear them. And it's
exactly.
just
Yep. See
nice.
what I'm saying? Yep.
And I'll even start humming the music. There's no lyrics, but you hear me over there humming and like that, hearing my voice come out is very just soothing for me and
Mhm.
just resets me. And then I take my earbuds out, I'm ready to go again.
Right? Yeah. You're constantly regulating that nervous system.
Bringing it back to
You're
the relaxation system.
exactly, you're self-soothing in real time.
And that's the thing, we're adults, so we have to learn how to self-soothe, or we should already know how. These little kids, they don't know how to self-soothe, so you have to be there for them.
Exactly. And when you self-soothe, guess what? They're gonna learn to self-soothe. Mommy, what's that? Oh, yoga.
They
It's
watch you.
playtime, right? Your teenagers, right? They're picking up on you. You know, a lot of times we like when they go in the room. That's that game they be playing with kids, Roblox.
Yes, that's what my 13-year-old plays.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think sometimes we like to for them to go in your room and they in their room for hours. We don't know what they.
Oh, yeah, maybe you
We
don't
don't
want
know
them
what
over
they
in the
doing. We don't know
room.
what they becoming.
They be
Okay.
chatting with people. That's like social media. I found that out.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like, who you
absolutely.
chatting with? I didn't know you could chat with people.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So bring them in. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Even today, actually, I posted a reel. I'm running, and my 3-year-old, he's 4. He's in the background, just mom, mom, mom. But I had on my earbuds, so I barely could hear him. But I'm just like, I'm getting my run. I see you. I see you
Yeah.
firing up from the treadmill. You're not gonna get hurt. But
Right.
you safe. But I'm still getting myself caring. So it's just like, even with that part, it's like, well, when am I gonna have time to put myself caring? You can do it with the kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, do you guys eat? Do you still sit at table with your kids?
Mm-hmm.
Are we having family night? Are we having game
Yeah.
night?
Yeah, those are fun. Going out, taking it
Mhm.
all the way back. Like a game. Like, what's that? Like the game of
Absolutely.
life? You mean a
Ex-
physical game?
Yeah.
What?
Right. And sometimes we're on autopilot. We just do, 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 and we're not checking in. How was your day today? Tell me about your day. Right. And then we listening, right? We're not listening to cut them off. We're listening to engage with them,
Love it.
learn more about them.
Yes. I love how you said listening to not cut them off because
Uh,
a lot of times our kid is actually telling us something. Then they said something that's going to make us mad. And it's like, well, why did that happen? Like
right.
sometimes my husband be mad that like something happened to my 13-year-old. I'm like, but it wasn't his fault. But then it's because of the way the 13-year-old reacted. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Let me just give you an example.
Go
So
ahead.
yesterday he missed the bus.
Okay.
And so we don't live that far. He could actually walk home, but it's difficult because of the sidewalks. So
Mhm.
before he gets to our house, he's able to walk fully on sidewalks to my mother-in-law's house, so his
Okay.
grandma's house. So he went there, she wasn't there. So he was just like, and he didn't have his phone. He left his phone at home. So
Mhm.
then from there, he's able to walk to our house. So he's on his way home, but
Mhm.
his aunt sees him, picks him up, and brings him home. So actually, when he comes home, he tells the story, and we're just like, that's pretty cool. You walked
Right.
home, you didn't get upset, you didn't get scared or anything. There
Yeah.
was a time where we would potentially be like, why did you miss the bus? What is going on? It's like, why are you reacting that way? But like, it's okay. He figured it out.
Absolutely.
Nothing happened.
And then look at your life. Just imagine if you telling your friends, why you do that? Why you do that? You think you're going to tell your friend anything else?
Nope. Because you
No.
stuck on this thing when he's just telling you, like, look what I did. I walked home.
Exactly.
Yep, yep, yep. So when we're talking about emotional regulation, how can parents actually teach their child emotional regulation when they themselves are struggling with it?
Oh God, if you're struggling, you need to get some help. We got to use our insurance and help.
Well, let's say they come to you. You're the parent
Okay.
advocate. They come
Okay.
to you. What are
All
some
right.
strategies that you gonna give them?
Uh-huh. So I'm going to give you some self-soothing strategies, right? Self-soothe. We
Hey.
got to learn how to self-soothe. My great grandmother used to say, sometimes you got to hug yourself, right? Self-soothe in real time. Self-soothing looks like taking a warm bath, right? Okay. Also, you're going to identify that emotion. So those overwhelming emotions, identify them, right? They look like sadness, right? They look like anger. You might be angry because sometimes the fathers are not in your children's lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might anger you, right? You're
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
You're angry, right? So just being self-aware, but also, like I said, listening to your body and using those self-soothing skills.
Mm-hmm.
And then also journaling. You need to journal.
Yeah.
Write out your emotions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and doing those things consistently. When you think about a test that you have to take,
Mhm.
it's kinda like that. The when a child upsets you or you're being triggered, that's that test. And
Oh,
you when
yeah,
you study for that test, that's preparation. So what you're
absolutely.
saying, journaling and becoming self-aware is you
Mhm,
practicing and studying that every day, doing
mhm.
consistent grounding techniques, consistent breathing
Exactly.
techniques,
I was just about to
consistent
say that.
self-care. Go
Mhm.
ahead.
Breathing, absolutely. Even if it's like, "Well, I gotta go to the bathroom right quick." Right, let me go to the bathroom right quick. Even
Exactly.
when you do that, the body's saying, "Okay, we need to calm down now."
Yeah, and, teaching them is also just being that witness. When they see
Mhm,
that you know how to soothe yourself, they're just like, "Oh, look at how mama dealt with that." Because the flip side, when I see patients that are dealing with a lot of anxiety, I
mhm,
notice right away that the parents also have anxiety. And I ask them, "How do you deal with anxiety?"
uh-huh,
"Oh, I might cry, I might get upset." I said, "They
mhm.
watching you."
Right.
So they might get anxiety biologically, but they're gonna get it environmentally if they're looking at the way their parents react.
Exactly, exactly. And then we're gonna reframe those automatic negative thoughts
There it is.
about how you feel about your children behavior. I
Ooh.
know. If
Ooh,
I
that's good.
told him if I get that call, then I'm a do. After you punish them, you forgot to ask them, well, what made you do that? What made you come up with that solution? I need to know what's in your mind so I can help you.
Yeah.
But you're so focusing on punishing them and yelling at them,
Mm.
understand what's going up here. What's going up on here?
Yeah. 'Cause you already feel some kinda way about your child because they lied or because of the mental illness, you think they want attention, and
Exactly.
then you already have this, this high expectation
My
of them to all of a sudden do better,
expectation.
and then you just think so negatively of them when they fail your high expectation.
Exactly.
So it's like, we gotta lower these
Yeah.
expectations, to be
And you want,
honest.
right. And then you want them to be like you. Maybe they're not like you.
Especially biologically what you say. You they not at
Really. Maybe they,
25 is when
you
they
might,
think it's
it might be
normal.
like their daddy that that you don't like, your ex-husband that you I'm gonna keep it real.
Well, if they like their daddy and they don't like their daddy, what how they gonna deal with the kid?
Exactly. Exactly.
Grace. Give
Great.
them grace. Y'all should go just like I
Right.
said,
We gotta
family
be
therapy,
honest, right?
family
You know.
therapy. And you it's really important for you as the parent to self-soothe because you saying the wrong thing
Mhm.
and remorse and regret later doesn't always heal it just because you're remorseful. Because I've had a parent literally tell me in front of the kid that they wanted to put their kid up for adoption, that they didn't want to be their parent anymore. And I said, so you're saying this to me in front of your child. You clearly said it to them without saying it in front of me. Do you know how much harm this does to them? And like literally months later, they're still thinking about this, even though you feel bad.
How
You
did
just
you handle
can't
that? Oh my God.
say, well, I was straight up. I said, you cannot say that. And I said, you got to get your own therapy because there's something wrong. There's something going on with you to make
Mhm,
you say such hurtful words. So you got to
mhm,
get your own help.
exactly.
And, I really do believe that this parents child relationship can be
Mhm,
healed, but it's going to take so much work because they're both are broken and they're both saying the wrong things to each other. You're a
mhm.
bad mother. You're a bad son. Like those are real hurtful things to say about someone's character. So we really got to watch what we say for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you said, but we have to be willing to get the help that we need.
Being a parent is hard, and there's no guide or nothing. We go to driver school to get a license, but we don't go to no school to be a parent to raise a whole human.
I know, but we got resources now.
They got required resources.
We got look, but y'all be on that Instagram scrolling, just scrolling. Let's get on some podcasts. Let's get on some YouTube, self-help books.
My Instagram algorithm is full of parenting humor, the toddlers, and just making
Mhm,
jokes about them. It makes you feel better. So maybe you need to get into some humor and just laugh about it, like, oh, this kid done did this again.
exactly. And some look mom groups
Mm-hmm.
And understand, like, you are not the only one that's going through this. It makes you feel
Yes.
better.
Yeah. So anything that we haven't talked about that you feel like could just be the gentlest, smallest shift that a
Mhm.
parent can even make today
Uh-huh.
that will help them make the biggest impact on creating a more peaceful home.
Yeah, I love this quote. Let me say this quote for you guys. The best predictor of a child's well-being is the parent's self-understanding.
Mm.
Yeah. And be kind to yourself. Know that this is a journey. This is 18 years after 18 years. Right?
Even beyond.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay, I like that. Just
Right there. Right
yeah, I
there.
love that. Yes, but so be kind to yourself, right? That's the first step. Practicing self-compassion. And then also you're going to check in with yourself every single day. Let me check in with myself. Let me check in with myself before I pick the kids up. Like when the kids come home, when I come home, let me check in with myself. Right. And then when you come home, you check in with the kids. How was your day today? How
Mm-hmm.
can I support you?
Mm-hmm.
What was your biggest challenge of the day? What was your high and your low of the day? Right. For
Yeah.
your teenagers, where was your head at today? Where was your heart at? Right. I need to know your thoughts. And I need to know those feelings, those overwhelming emotions that's going on.
They know that you're interested in them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because I want to be loved. And it starts at the home. It starts in the home. I'm sorry. It starts in the home.
Yeah, and it's definitely harder when there's not a lot of support, especially for single moms or for families who just don't have extended family that they can be able to pass on. Because there's definitely a lot of moms out there or dads that child is with them constantly. Like you can't use the bathroom by yourself, you can't do nothing by yourself. Is
Mhm.
there any types of strategies you give to that you find yourself giving to single parents versus parents who have a spouse to pass the kid on to?
I think you need to create a therapeutic environment
Mm.
for yourself
Mm.
and the child, right? So routine is very important. Like I said, checking in with the child, checking in with your kid or your
Mhm.
children, right? Doing some self-soothing activities together, right? Like I said, routine is very important. Why? Because, all right, if you say, hey, when you get home, we're going to check in with each other. We're going to do our homework together. If you want to watch a little TV, 30 minutes of TV or 30 minutes of your game, now you got to go to bed every day at 9 o'clock.
Routine.
Routine, routine,
You
routine.
gotta have that
So
routine.
you have time for yourself,
Yes.
right? We can't strive in chaos.
You gotta have
You
time
can't
for
do that.
yourself.
You have to have time for yourself. Even
Yeah. What
put on
about them clingy kids? They wanna sleep with you in the bed. How do we deal with that?
go in your go in your
Go in your room.
they go cry, Even
Bring
if
them to therapy.
you're there, keep the door open, put some AirPods.
I'm so sorry. I know there's so many parents out there that their child still sleeps with them, and I know it's not the parent's choice. Uh, knock on wood, that has
But
not
let
been the
you
case
speak
in
on
my
that.
household, but
Go ahead and speak. You speak on that.
like I said, that's not been the case in my household.
We're-
No, I feel like literally, like, what's the problem? What's going on? Why don't they want to sleep in their own room? Are they scared
exactly,
of something? Are they scared of the dark? Turn on the full light. Do
exactly.
something
But
because you need your own space. Go ahead.
we have to let their doctor know too, right? Because it
Yeah.
might be something that we didn't pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're
I
talking about a child that's, go ahead,
no,
Dr.
no, go.
No, but right now we're just talking about kids who don't have diagnoses like autism.
True. Yeah, there's could be something else going on, like you
Mhm.
said, autism or reactive attachment
Yeah,
disorder, some type of trauma. So there
exactly.
are kids having nightmares, night terrors, and things like
Mhm.
that. But that's when you take them to therapy. I definitely had a
Exactly.
child that I saw in therapy for this
Mhm.
specific reason. He was so scared. We came up with like a graded therapeutic like exposure type of plan to get that boy sleeping in his own bed.
Yeah,
We went through a
absolutely.
whole therapeutic plan. So
Absolutely. And that's why I said it's so very important to self-regulate, because if we don't, then we're just moving in with anxious thoughts, right? Anxious thoughts create anxious behavior. right?
Yep.
So like, oh, I gotta do it. Instead of stopping and pausing, okay, hmm, really observing your child's behavior,
Yeah.
you might need to get some help.
Yeah, and that's okay. If you need to get your own therapy as a parent, the child needs to get therapy for the child and then family therapy together so that you guys can learn how to love each other again and have that foundation that you once had. That's all right.
And look at
All
different,
right.
if you can't afford it, look at different resources out there.
Mhm.
So also I help with that too.
What are these resources? Or is that a on the spot question?
It is on the spot.
Well, she can help with that. She'll look it up when you reach out
You
to
can do
her.
some research. I'm just saying, like, look, everybody's gonna be helped.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. But that's
Popular.
the point. You just not gotta go know what direction to look into. There's
Mhm.
always help for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, I thank you for coming on the
Oh,
podcast.
that's
This
it. I want to
is
keep on talking. I'm
heck
kidding.
yeah, right? Well, I do have one last question because I ask all my guests because we're on Journey to Joy Live. What's your journey to joy been like?
What's my journey? Oh God, that's you really put me on the
That's
spot. I gotta think about
deep.
it. I
That's
know that
deep.
is deep. You know,
It's day by day.
on day by day, just to support myself, I'm always like listening to like my body and like, my if I'm having some mood swings, just like what's going on? Okay, my menstrual cycle's about to come on. Or, I didn't get enough sleep. So I'm always just being self-aware. So if I take care of myself, then I know I can help others. So it's myself. I
That's
have to
good.
take care of myself first because I do this for a living. I'm constantly talking to people and I'm helping them, and I can't mask it. I can't fake it. I gotta listen to myself. Okay, what do I need? So that's
Mhm.
self-care and self-love. I love me. I love myself.
For sure. That's great. That's great.
Yes, yes. Constantly taking care of myself.
Take care of yourself, prioritize you because you need
Prioritize
to.
myself. I like to work out. I like to get my massages. Like, I'm
Awesome.
I'm a big giver, but I have to pour in me first. Very important.
Awesome. Well, you
Yeah.
know what? Somebody on Instagram, they asked about, we were talking about toddlers. They asked about techniques for toddlers who were breastfed. And I think it was while we were talking about,
Uh-huh,
toddlers or kids who sleep in the same bed with you. And I know that is real because people, like they be 18 months old sleeping in your bed. And I know for me, for both of my kids, it was like right at 6 months, because they say they're supposed to sleep in the same room with you to 6 months. Right at 6 months, you go into the bed. So they were asking about techniques for toddlers who are breastfed. I think, and I breastfed up to 18, 17 months for each of my kids. Whether
mhm.
you breastfeed or not, that is, you still can be able to get them to their other room. It's just a matter of, putting them down with a bottle. That's what I was doing. I put them down with a bottle. You can do that. But, there's different strategies as far as how to keep them in the bed. I did the crying out method where they're going to cry.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
them cry. The pediatrician told me up to 30 minutes. And that
Oh,
sounds like that's actually a long time. Like if you
yeah.
listening to your baby cry for that long, it's so scary. But at this point, if a toddler, you're sleeping in the bed with a toddler, it's definitely going to take some time to get them to stay in their room. There's definitely things you can put on a doorknob where they can come out. I know we did that. They're going to go to sleep eventually.
Yeah.
But inbox me if you're still listening, the one who made the comment. I can, offer some other strategies for that. But I know it's tough for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening and thank you for asking that question. Thank you, Dee, for coming on. I do want to make some announcements. I have the Elevate Your Joy growth groups coming out starting March 7th. They are 12 weeks, an hour each week, going through the entire Enjoyno. Yes, from beginning to end. There's the Wife, Mom, Boss edition. Oh, I think she got it. Where she
Yeah.
got it? Hey,
Oh
there we
yeah. Look, this is
go.
my wife. I'd be excited to contact my therapist.
Eh,
Let me tell you what
thank
happened.
you. Thank you. Yes, get your
Yes.
enjoyable. So there's the Wife Mom Boss edition. If that resonates with you, that one's at 12 o'clock on Fridays. And then there's the Healing Journey edition, which really can resonate with anybody. You got some stress, anxiety, past traumas, just stuff you want to get through. That's a 12 weeks course starting March 7th, it is $50 a session, but if you pay if you pay $550 up front, you'll save $50 and get a free Enjoino. And I will be at the Atlanta Black Expo this Sunday, February 23rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Use the code ENJOY and you can get $5 off. So I hope to see you there, and you can get your free Enjoino when you sign up for the growth group there. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Dee.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you.
You're welcome. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I accept Aetna for Georgia residents, and out-of-pocket services are available for others. I'm licensed in Georgia, Florida, Michigan, Tennessee, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Illinois, Virginia, and Minnesota. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoino on Amazon for $39.08 to help you on your wellness journey. And remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, may you continue to transform challenges into joy.